How do you improve faster? How do you make the most out of your art practice so that you can see progress and feel like the practice is really paying off? Today, we're going to be looking at 7 reasons why you may not be making the art progress you want, and even looking at how to fix some of these things that you may or may not be doing. The first one is looking at art direction. In the beginning, I found myself trying many different things. And trying many different things is actually valuable if you haven't gotten an art direction as yet, if you do not actually know what you want to do. Finding an art direction involves 2 things. Most of the times, we are looking at just things we like to see the finished product of, which is one part of it. But another part that we don't normally think about is thinking about the process, finding something that we actually enjoy the process of doing as well, not just the end result. Trying many different things allows you to explore both of these functions and features of an art direction. You need to both enjoy the end product as well as the process of producing that. But once you have an art direction, now it is time to narrow down your focus and point all of your practice in the direction of accomplishing that task, that end result. Number 2, this is one that comes up over and over again, but I want to approach it from a slightly different angle. That is the problem of not putting in the time. Now, I think that the reason this is actually a problem relates back to number 1, in that you don't actually enjoy the thing that you're doing, in that you don't actually enjoy the process. You've probably kind of seen an end result of something and you like the end result, but you don't actually enjoy the process of getting to that end result. As a result, the time spent in practice getting to that end result that you admire so much is just torture. If you actually enjoy the thing that you are doing, you will find it more and more easier to jump into that when you have just the slightest amount of space in your day. Think about other things that you enjoy in life and how you find time to squeeze in that activity. Um, really, not finding the time and not putting in the time really boils down to a question that you need to ask yourself. Am I really enjoying the process of doing this thing? Because most times you'll find that there is something there that you actually don't enjoy. Number 3, you need focused practice. Now, what do I mean by focused practice? I mean that many times we will find that we are not actually doing the thing that we want to improve at. Sure, you can do figure drawing all day, but that may not actually get you where you want to go. For me, I have this dream of being able to draw from imagination, to put multiple characters into a scene, as I am doing here. So while figure drawing is important and doing figure drawing from reference is important, it is also important that I actually practice the thing that I want to be better at, the thing that I want to do, that I'm practicing my art direction, my art goal. And that is drawing without reference, putting these figures and other objects into a scene and doing that over and over again. If I am not doing that, I am not doing focused practice. At some point, yes, I have to figure draw, but at some point, I also need to make sure that I am doing the thing that I want to do long term. You have to have you have to have that long-term focus in there. Number 4, you have to learn that you should practice from the simple to the complex, or from the large idea to the smaller, more details. For me personally, in the last video, you heard me talk a lot about box rotation. And believe it or not, box rotation played a pivotal part in me being able to do the drawing that I am currently doing on screen. I had to go back to the basics. The simple idea of, in order to manipulate complex figures and put them into a scene, I have to be able to first manipulate simple objects and put them into a scene. If I cannot put a simple box and multiple boxes into a scene and have them look like they belong together, I have no hope of putting multiple objects into multiple figures into a scene and have them look like they belong. You have to determine what fundamental is holding you back and then practice it. Number five. Number five, you chose something like simple to complex. You figured out the fundamental that you need to work on, but you don't actually understand what you just learned. Now, this is something that I have learned that it is more specific to art and probably mathematics. Oh man. But there is a difference between understanding something in a demo or when it's being presented to you and being able to actually implement that thing that you just learned. You need to spend time utilizing that concept that you just learned apart from the demo. And you need to do this over and over again in multiple different scenarios, thinking back again to your art direction and asking yourself, have I used this in as many different scenarios as I can think up? And do I actually have a practical grasp of what I just learned, not just a mental? It is very easy in art to confuse having a mental understanding to having a practical, working, applicable knowledge of that thing that you just learned. Don't confuse the two. If you learn something, you need to put in some time, maybe a week or two or more, actually implementing that thing for yourself in your own projects, in your own work, in your own practice. Number six is that you need to do a gut check on your expectations. Progress is something that does not happen in a straight line. Even for me, this drawing that I am doing here, I drew it, and since then I've been drawing quite a few things, and even some of the times I have gone to do additional drawings, it just doesn't always work out. There's been some that look really well, and then some days you're just off, and you need to understand and expect that this is going to happen. You cannot let this be the thing that frustrates you and throws you off. Progress doesn't happen in a straight line, and it takes time. And in the end, you'll find that if you can stick with it, it will happen sooner than you think, but not probably as soon as you think. Along with this, number seven, you need to check your emotions. Emotions is actually a big part of learning. I have found that there is a relationship between emotions and critical thinking. Many times, if emotions go up, critical thinking goes down. And this could be good or bad emotions sometimes. Um, and this is why we tend to calm people down. We don't have people making critical decisions when they are highly emotional or in a highly emotional state. Uh, Try to limit your frustration. You need to calm down. And I think doing some of the things that we mentioned in points 1 through 6 will allow you to calm down just a little bit. Check your emotions, because keeping your emotions in check will also help your critical thinking and help you absorb the information that you are learning better. And overall, you will feel better. And this will all help you uh, improve faster. Just remember that you are planning to do this as a hobby. A hobby normally takes some time. I mean, if you're doing something as a hobby, you should expect that you'll be doing it for a long time. Art is a journey, and that word journey is in there for a reason because what you will begin to find out is that even the professionals that you look up to, they feel like there is still so much improvement that they need to do. And as someone once said, if you're a beginner, you should not be surprised that you are doing beginner type drawings. I mean, what else would you expect? So just check those emotions, make sure that you're staying calm as possible. Realize that this is a process. And I think if you practice these 1 through 7 things, you will be seeing a lot more improvement in your art. And glad to have you on this journey. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you along this journey. Bye.